your Dynamite Man, AfroDynamite. Today, I do have something special for y'all guys. Of course, it's going to be a discussion on Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And yes, it is confirmed because there's been several teaser images that have been released on Scott's website. And there's just all the different animatronics, and man, they look freaky. Woo! And it's just, I really feel like I should talk about this just shortly for y'all guys. I'm not going to try to make it too long, but of course, I'm going to stop rambling here so y'all guys can go ahead and listen to this awesome discussion I have for y'all guys, alright? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm back, and of course, we're going to start talking about the teaser images that were released on Scott's website, and I'm going to try to get through it relatively quick, so keep up with me here. So, of course, we're going to look at the first image that actually showed an animatronic on Scott's website, which showed Freddy. And Freddy looks run down like Springtrap, and it shows a bunch of Freddys on his chest with very sharp teeth. Knowing that Freddy Fazbear's is a place for kids, I don't think the animatronics are supposed to have sharp teeth. And it's kind of weird. And then you look at Freddy's fingers, and they look like they could tear someone apart. That's weird. And then if you brighten up the image, it says Nightmare at the bottom. Of course, you can also include the fact that it says the final chapter, so this is going to probably be the final chapter in the series. And then Scott's going to kind of be like, okay, I'm done with it. But I hope the fact that he's going to really tie up loose ends in this game, because I'd love to know the rest of the story, you know. And of course, let's move on to the second teaser image here, which shows Bonnie. At first, I was kind of like mind-boggled, like, what animatronic is this? And then I looked at the ears, and I was like, oh, Bonnie, okay. But of course, it shows the same thing, but Bonnie has 2 rows of sharp teeth. What for? And it looks run down just like Springtrap, and you see the same finger, you know, finger design. It looks like it really tears someone apart. And then you see some words up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, which shows, was it me? And it's kind of like taunting you, but asking you a question. Was it me? Do you think it was me? And another thing that really stands out, I don't think any of the animatronics really had this, because if they did, I would notice, but glowing eyes. What do you need glowing eyes for? I don't know if that adds to the creepiness or something, but man, this game, I think Scott's really working hard on this game, given the fact that it shows 10/31/15, and it's June right now, and he first released like the first couple of images back in March, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, he's working hard on this game, very hard on this game. Oh man, I don't know if he's going to make this game 3D, but if he does, I'm going to be so excited. So, of course, in the background of it, you see that it says Nightmare, but in a different way. I don't know if you've ever played Slender before, how you see those scribbled drawings of Slenders, but the words almost look like it, you know? But it says Nightmare in the back. What does Nightmare mean? I mean, of course these animatronics look like something you get out of a nightmare, but what does this mean exactly? So I'll get into that more a little bit later, but we're going to talk about each one of the images. Of course, now you look at Chica's teaser image, and it shows Chica having 3 rows of sharp teeth. 1 huge row of sharp teeth, 1 medium, 1 small, and it shows the same exact question. Was it me? Now you get to the point where I'm saying it's kind of taunting you, but it's asking you a question. And the same thing shows in the background. Nightmare. Even when you brighten up the image. Now that you see the cupcake in the background, it's kind of like, almost looks like it's strapped to Chica's back or something like that. Or it could just be like, you know, sitting on Chica's back or something like that, or on its shoulder. I don't know. But even the cupcake has sharp teeth, so. And then you look at Chica's eye, it's just 1 gleaming eye. So I think Scott's adding those eyes in to kind of really add the creepiness into the game, which is going to be very, very exciting to see, but very scary because I want to be like peeing myself. So I think we should move on to the teaser images I was most excited about, because I already seen I already seen Freddy, Bonnie, Chica. Who do you think's next? Of course, Foxy. Foxy, I think, is probably one of the creepiest, because Foxy has always been kind of my one that I was like, he's so cool, but he's so freaky. But of course, the same thing stands out: the teeth. But there's another thing that stands out here. But if you look at the teeth and stuff, and look at the top of his nose and stuff, it looks like, everything's in a haze. I don't know, that could relate something to the whole nightmare thing, but I'll explain that later. But of course, instead of saying nightmare in the background, it says out of order. What does it say out of order for? Now, that brings me back to the thought of, the first game where we played it and we saw Pirate Cove. And it says, this is out of order. This animatronic's out of order, to be exact. Sorry for that a bit of a pause, but could this be linked back to the first game? Could we be playing in something back in the first game? I don't know. But at the same time, there's another question that's related to the past two, but has a different wording, and it says, or me. So if you put that together, Bonnie says, was it me? Then Chica says, was it me? And then Foxy goes and says, or me. Now that we've got the full line going here, it's practically almost haunting you. It's really getting you to question who did it, who caused the bite of 87, because of course there's no other thing that was it me or me connects to other than the bite of 87. There wasn't anything really that drastic other than the killing, the one purple guy killing the children, but that has nothing to do with the animatronics really biting anybody, or even having sharp teeth. So of course, I've kind of questioned why Foxy has a long tongue. Maybe to spoon out your brains. I don't know. I hope the jump scares would be a lot scarier. One thing I almost forgot to touch on was the glowing eyes. The glowing eyes are just a little bit gleamier, and it looks like they pierce through the darkness. When you play the game, and say Foxy's looking at a camera, you never know. Those eyes might be peering through that camera, splitting into your soul, scaring the living crap out of you. Because of how freaking scary that thing looks. Wow. So, of course, let's go on to the one teaser image I've seen today. I'm going to go on it really quick. Of course, there is a purple hat and tie. And, of course, we already know the hat and tie belongs to Freddy Fazbear. But Freddy Fazbear does not own a purple hat and tie. That practically belongs to Shadow Freddy. Sorry, I was about to say Freddy Fazbear again. But at the same time, he's had a black hat too. But at the same time, we can't really connect this with anybody other than Shadow Freddy. So could Shadow Freddy have a big part in this game? Could he? Now we can go ahead and go on to the brightened up version of this image, which shows property of Fazbear. It's like it cuts off at air, and that's kind of how it looks. It's sorry for the weirdness, guys. But I don't know why that's blurred out. But of course, I'm pretty sure it says Freddy Fazbear. And if you look up at the corner of the white spotlight, you'll see something that's a little weird. It looks like teeth. I don't know if you guys saw it already, but it's up at, if you look at the white spotlight, there's two spotlights in the brightened up image here. You see it first, you see, that yellow spotlight. The second one, you see the white spotlight on top of the yellow. And if you look up in the upper right hand corner, you'll see teeth. I don't know what the teeth are there for, honestly. And I don't know, could Nightmare Freddy, well, not Nightmare Freddy, because he's probably most likely going to be in that. Could there be a Nightmare Shadow Freddy? Could that replace a Nightmare Golden Freddy, or could they both be in the game? I don't know. I know this is going through saying I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm leaving questions here for y'all guys to really wonder what's really going to happen in the game. So, of course, we have covered all those images. That's all that's shown for now. But I'm going to go into a little bit of the story here. But I don't know if you can go ahead and look this up, but there is a couple theories on the internet that I actually did look up. Now, I do not own any of these theories except the one I'm going to kind of combine together. But the first one is, are the animatronics replacement suits? One prevailing theory is that the nightmare versions of Freddy and Bonnie may be a set of replacement suits hidden deep within the Freddy Fazbear archives. It's easy to see that the previous two teasers that these horrifying creatures haven't aged well, obviously. Their outsides are covered in dust and the visible signs of tearing on the exoskeletons. That there are visible signs. Sorry, be terribly reading. Of course, the phone guy even mentions this. I'm just going to kind of like skim read, but the phone guy even mentions replacement suits after the purple guy becomes trapped inside Spring Body. To quote him directly, keep in mind that they were found on very short notice, so question about appropriateness, relevance should be deflected. And of course, if you played Five Nights at Freddy's 3, this is where it was found. Taking a gander at these teasers, it's no secret why someone would question their appropriateness for children, because they have freaking sharp teeth. Why would you want to scare the children? You would lose business. And they're knitted out with sharp teeth, long claws, and creepy expressions. Yeah. So could they come from the same place as, the Golden Bonnie, aka Springtrap? But let's move on to the next one. The Bite of 87. Or is it? Of course, it shows here that it says, in previous Five Nights at Freddy's 4 teasers, there was a heavy implication that the Nightmare Freddy, with his dozens of sharp teeth, could be as a vehicle to better understand the Bite of 87. Obviously, because you need something sharp to get into a skull, practically. Such seems to be confirmed as in this Nightmare Bonnie teaser 2. Taking a look at the Scott Games I can't read, reveals that this page is currently strewn with 8s and 7s like before, which has to do with Bite of 87. That's why I said what was it me? Sorry, I cannot talk today, guys. But was it me? That really does stand out. Now let's say let's move on. Will we live Scott's nightmares? Of course, I've heard about this too, but Scott said in the first game, when he made the first one, he had a lot of nightmares about Bonnie. A lot of terrifying nightmares. And, that they said Scott Cawthon, I cannot say his name, he might really put a lot of his fears and nightmares into the fourth game to really give you an inside look of how he felt about these animatronics. And I know he was terrified, just like we were. Now he's putting these nightmare designs to really emphasize how he felt about them. Because of course he said there's multiple occasions where he had nightmares about Bonnie, and I didn't find Bonnie that creepy. But of course, if you look at even at the first game, Bonnie was the one that was really the most creepiest. Bonnie was the first to attack. So that could be very possible. So here's a big one, a big one I have on here. Are the animatronics not real? Does this have a sleep meter mechanic? Because this is where the nightmare thing really comes in here. So I'm going to read it off here. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is clearly home to the series' scariest animatronics. But do they actually exist? A popular rumor is that the horrifying forms aren't true to life. Instead, they will play a role in the hallucination mechanic that was best established in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. In that vein, players will defend against more traditional foes as they start to struggle during the shift. And what they mean is getting tired. And sleep meter mechanic, of course, is going to, kind of add a mechanic into the game, which I'm going to read off here. An interesting gameplay idea is that the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 will feature a sleep meter. During their course of shift, it is possible that the guards may be required to take caffeine pills or a sip of coffee to stay awake. And of course, as more and more, here, I'm going to just read the rest of it off here because I'm going off track here. If the player's character becomes too sleepy, they may start to hallucinate and see these nightmarish versions. And when most of us heard the name Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time, it's most likely we thought of Freddy Krueger. Maybe Scott's plans to pay a homage to the 80s legacy by encouraging fans to stay awake just like in the film series. This decade has been central to the story, of course. Yes, the bite of 87, of course, there's been, speculations that this took back in, the 70s when this actually all started and everything. And, I think as the game goes on, that, a sleepier you get, you'll start to see a little bit more spiky teeth, and you'll start seeing them. I think the first deal of business that Sky's going to put down as the sleep meter mechanic is, as you get tired, they look a little bit more worn down. They look a little bit more broken down. As you get even more tired and tired, you'll start seeing, the teeth coming in, the fingers coming in. And then you'll start seeing the eyes. And then once you're really freaking tired, you might look like you're falling asleep, and that leaves the animatronics more time to get into your office and kill you. And considering the fact that you might be sleepy while these animatronics are about to jump scare you and kill you, there might be two versions of, these animatronics. There might be like, okay, let's say you don't go to sleep and, somehow you let these animatronics into the office. They might do the regular, animatronic jump scares. Okay, let's say you do go to sleep and you let these animatronics in the office. It's going to be a scarier version of the jump scare. And it's going to be really freaky. I know it is. So that's going to be something that's going to be really freaky. Can't say freaky, right? So here's one that I kind of doubt, but I could say it could be possible. But are the animatronics the purple guy's invention? I'm going to read it off here. So, sorry, I had a burp there, sorry. If the nightmare animatronics of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 are real, there are only so many people that will willingly build something as ghastly as we've seen in the teasers. A prime suspect for the task is, however, the purple guy. For reasons unknown, he decided to slaughter about a dozen children throughout the Five Nights at Freddy's timeline. These animatronics seem well suited for accomplishing these deeds very well. To further this idea, it's worth remembering that the color scheme of the Scott's last two updates, the Nightmare version of Freddy featured on the red website, while Bonnie is characterized by a shade closer to blue. Anyone that remembers preschool art class and that will know that mixing red and blue paint together makes purple, obviously, because I'm a bit of a drawer and painter myself. Is the successive introduction of these two colors a sign that the purple guy is involved? It's a solid theory. But is it? The purple guy might be involved, but he's probably only going to be involved with the murders. I think the sleep meter animatronics is going to be a little bit more believable. And it's going to be a little bit more, funner to see that these animatronics transform after a certain period of time, after you become a certain period of tired. But, of course, my theory here is that it's not going to be the purple guy's invention, but these animatronics could be replacement suits. They really could be. They could be replacement suits. They could be not the greatest version of the replacement suits. They could look a little bit torn down. But as you move on, this is where the sleep meter mechanic comes in. As you move on throughout the day, or throughout the night, you'll get more and more tired. You'll start getting drowsy. You'll be like, oh, I can't stay awake, and you have to hurry up and take these pills, or you gotta take a sip of coffee, and it returns them back to their normal state. But as you get more tired, they start to become more worn down than they already are. So, of course, yeah, I do believe that we are going to lift Scott's Nightmares tooth, because Scott, I think for his last game, I think he's really going to try to make it good. That's why he's taken until December 31st to do it. So, I'm really getting excited for it. Are you excited for Five Nights at Freddy's 4, or are you scared for Five Nights at Freddy's 4? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate your input, your thoughts. Matter of fact, if you can go ahead and hit me up at Facebook and Twitter and just give me your thoughts, your theories on what you think might happen in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, even how the story might go. That'd be greatly appreciated, because I could possibly talk about it on this channel. So, of course, I'm going on 20 minutes here, guys. Actually, more than 20 minutes. But I hope y'all guys did enjoy. I really did hope y'all guys did enjoy. And, you know, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, including the fact that there's probably going to be a lot more teasers coming out soon. So I'm going to stop rambling here and let y'all guys go. I hope y'all guys really did enjoy it. Just like I said before, if you like this video, go ahead, punch that like button, slap it, Sparta kick it, I don't know, bite its head off, like in the Bite of 87, whatever. As long as you don't break your computer in the process. You know, I don't know how you do that and not break your computer, but hey, if it doesn't break, yeah, feel free. But of course, as I usually say, don't forget to subscribe, because every one of y'all guys that subscribe to this channel really helps me out, really shows me a lot of encouragement, and matter of fact, even commenting or liking really shows me that I'm doing good, got all that support, and I should keep on going with this. So, remember guys, no matter what you do, no matter what you go through, make sure to stay dynamite and be ready for Freddy. Peace out, guys.